All right, welcome to the Behind the Board on instrument plugins. Instrument plugins are a great tool, especially if you want to have a piano and you don't own a piano in the studio, or you want an organ, or you want a synth sound that you don't have, because Pro Tools has a lot of these built in. And first thing we're going to do is define an instrument track. This is an instrument track. How did we create that to begin with? So let's go to track new, and now we just have to change some settings. We want, instead of audio track, instrument track, and we want it to be a stereo track almost all the time, so just put that on stereo instrument track and create, and that's how you get an instrument track up. Now in these instrument tracks, we're going to work off this one since I already have some MIDI in there. In these instrument tracks, you can record MIDI in order to trigger a sound from a plugin. So I have some recorded MIDI here. You could do that quick by grabbing a MIDI keyboard from M Audio or something like that. All you need to do is plug in a USB cable. It's usually a USB 2.0 that will go to the back of your keyboard right into your computer, and you should be able to start playing pretty much immediately there. But let's talk about this track right here that we're working on. We have some MIDI in there already, so we don't need to record it, but we do need to put on an instrument plugin. So let's go to our Insert, Selector A, and get a multi-channel plugin over there. Go down to Instrument, and we'll start with Mini Grand because this says piano, so it's supposed to be a piano, but I'll show you how to do a few other things as well. We'll start with Mini Grand. It'll take a second to load up. Mini Grand is a really great plugin in Pro Tools. It has a lot of fantastic sounds from pianos, so it's all loaded in there now. And now we'll play back what's on the track. That's where we are. All those things on there are just being played by this piano. Right up here, you can see these two notes go down. It's even showing us what's being played. And we have a lot of options in here, including the type of piano, if we wanted to make it a dance-sounding one. And dynamic response, which has to do with how loud we hit the keys when we played it. We can make it a minimal dynamic response and everything will sound almost exactly the same. And if you did it maximum, the keys that you hit lower would come out lower, the keys that you hit harder would come out harder. Over here we have different types of reverb. It's on chamber reverb now, and here's our mix of the chamber reverb. So right now it's probably mixed around 20-30% here. And you hear a little reverb. You could blast it all the way up to 100 and hear a ton of reverb. So that's the way that works in here with MIDI, just the basics of it, just getting a track, putting a plug-in on it, that does play your MIDI back. So you need an instrument track, you need to have recorded MIDI or record the MIDI yourself, and you need to be able to go ahead and play it back. But let's go ahead and take a look at another plugin in here. We'll go to our multi-channel plugins, Instrument, and we'll go to Xpand, which is a favorite of Pro Tools users. Xpand has a lot of different sounds in it. It starts you off in this menu. Starts you off with the first bright pad it has. So same MIDI, completely different sound. We could change it up here to all sorts of different pre-made sounds that'll come in with different feels, or you could come over here and you can make your own sounds. Say I wanted there to be in organ. I go down to organ, I get a church rotary organ. I wanted there to also be an acoustic piano, so let's put this upright piano in there. I wanted some strings, so let's go to strings and put in anything we see fit to. How about a solo violin, and now playback. So we have a lot of things playing back there. We have our solo violin, our acoustic piano, and our church organ. So we could use this to make some pretty interesting sounds out of whatever MIDI that we have recorded. But this is the basics of instrument tracks. That's how you set it up, and that's how you use these plugins in order to make that MIDI into something special. Thanks for sticking with me on instrument tracks, and we'll work a little more on that some other time. All right, take care.